Welcome to another edition of the Diary of a Sales Expert podcast. So this week I'm going to be talking all about video. And what might you say about video, James, you might be asking? Well, I'm going to talk about how you can use video for sales outreach and to get success when it comes to selling and building your pipeline and engaging with your audience. And I wanted to talk about a couple of things related to video, and then we'll describe why I think it can work effectively for you. And I think there's probably 2 or 3 different forms of videos that you can use. The first is educational content video that is really important to educate and inspire and give insights to your buyer right at the top of the journey. And I am conscious that if you run your own business, you can create that video content. If you work within a business, you may not be able to or have the authority to create videos yourself. So you may need to talk it through with, someone in the team to be able to create sort of educational videos. But there's educational videos there. The second form of video is video that you can use in email campaigns, activities which are sort of quite generic, which you can use to do generic prospecting, and that's one option. And the third option I'm going to talk about is also using video in quite a specific way with a specific group of prospects, on how you can really engage with that audience quite specifically using some tools that can get reaction results. So let's just go into those 3 options. But before we start, let's talk about video in general. You may be watching this podcast actually through video. If you are, hey, it's me. I'm hoping you're good. And if that's your method for consuming the podcast, great. A lot of it may well be that you're consuming it through an online podcast tool like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Podcasts obviously are growing significantly, but video, as we all know, is growing hugely in its use. There is a massive fight going on at the moment between the big internet companies. So Google, who have YouTube, for example. So Google own YouTube. And YouTube Shorts and YouTube videos YouTube Shorts certainly is growing as a massive, growing quickly as a tool for video. You've then obviously got TikTok. So if you don't know, TikTok owned by an organization in China. There's a lot of worries around TikTok and whether they've got the permission to carry on. And a lot of government organizations in the UK and America are stopping with people downloading TikTok on their phones because of the amount of data that it gives you. When you click through that scroll of the agreement of the terms and conditions, you'd probably be amazed at what access they have. I believe and I was told this, I haven't looked through all the terms and conditions, they have access to pretty much most of your messages and most other information within your phone to then know what to serve you as a TikTok. So it's the reason why a lot of government organizations are banning it, because they don't want, obviously there's a worry that that data goes back to China and whatever else from there. I'm not going to get into geopolitical arguments on the podcast. But so there's sort of videos tools like TikTok, or there's obviously Instagram that's owned by Mark Zuckerberg and Meta, or Facebook, the old Facebook group, who have Instagram that do Reels, and Reels are really popular. And you've also now got Elon Musk, who now owns Twitter, and you might have seen Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg having this sort of fight, and Twitter is now utilizing video more as well. So you've got video as a tool is growing quickly. And how many people that we see are literally scrolling through their phones or scrolling up through their phones to see video in a way. And it also works really powerfully on LinkedIn and other tools as well. So video as a method is growing very quickly. People, short attention spans, they like capturing and seeing content that engages with them. And what you're able to do is, especially if that content is quite funny and engaging, you're able to get a message across that is different to the written word. So I've said before, there's this great study by Morabian, study of successful communications, and how 93% of a communication is in the way it's delivered and how it's delivered, the tonality and the way it's come across, and 7% of a success of a communication is in the words. And you can obviously get much better information across in a different way when you are delivering it via video. So video is growing significantly, and you don't need me to tell you that. There are so many apps now that you can do great videos with, and it becomes a really great opportunity to help you boost your open rates and your engagement rates with the prospects you work with. But so let's talk through these 3 areas of video and how you can utilize them effectively for sales. So if you run a business, you should definitely be using video. And a lot of people say, oh, no, I don't want to go on video. I don't want to put myself on video. I don't want to put myself on video at all. Of course, you can do it without putting yourself on there. You can maybe ask colleagues to do it, or you can, just use them without that, narrative videos. But people still buy from people. So let's deal with the issue around your confidence and not wanting to put yourself on video or online in a separate podcast. But let's say we want to do some stuff around video. The first thing around video is for educational purposes. I do, as you'll know, if you haven't looked at my YouTube channel, if you followed me on the podcast on Spotify or Apple, have a look for the YouTube James White Sales. You will see over 370, I think, videos there now. I keep producing videos, and I will continue to produce videos that the sole purpose of those videos is to support and educate and help business owners and those in running small businesses and working in small businesses to get great sales success. My vision is to help you be successful so that you put more money in your bank, so that you have better family time and love time and have less stress. That's my single goal, and I use video extensively for that purpose. It's a channel I've committed to and invested. I've probably invested over the course of the last 3 years, 4 years, probably, I don't know, £75,000 to £100,000 in creating video, because it's my method to communicate. And I shouldn't be, I know, because I've got a face for radio rather than video, but even so, I'll use video whilst I can. But the point is, for me, video gives me a chance to express and share an idea and share an insight that can hopefully help people. And I know my videos on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok, people like it. It's helping them, and that's what I care about. So video drives, it positions you. I actually quoted for a piece of business last week, and I was referred to that client by someone that works with me at the moment. And the first thing they did is I replied back to them and said, here's a few details around me. Here's my YouTube channel. And they came back and said, wow, your YouTube channel is really impressive. Wow, that gives us a lot of information about who you are. So not only does it sets you up well, because it shows people that you're investing in your brand and your business, but it positions you as an authority. It enables, when someone's going to compare you versus someone else in their field, and they see lots of insights and videos shared by you on how that buyer can deal with issues in their mind, it's going to make people go, wow, well, that person's really helpful. They already get a sense of who you are. And this comes from something called Google Zero Moments of Truth, where Google a number of years ago identified that you need 7 hours of content across 11 interactions across 4 media for someone to trust you to want to work with you. So if you've got, and there are lots of video content, there's more than 7 hours of content. If everyone consumed all of my videos, they would pretty much know a huge amount, and they'd have a huge amount of time with me. And there was a guy, again, I did a sales training piece of work at the start of the year, where the guy said to me, I feel like I know you already because I've seen all your videos. So it positions you as an authority. It helps build confidence. It builds trust. It gets people to know you before they meet you. So I really encourage you to do video for that basis. And if you're not sure how to create video, I really recommend, I can put you in contact with people that I work with for video that do a great job. If you can't afford for it to look professional, then you can do it on your phone. Your phone's a good option for you to do it with. But there's a real great way in which you can build video to build at the top of the funnel, to educate. And again, I always try and, if you look at the videos I create, I focus on videos that talk about the problems and challenges and desires that my audience has, things that frustrate them, because I want to add value in their mind. So that's the first thing about using video. I encourage you to do it. I would say to you, if you're going to do it on YouTube Shorts or TikTok, commit to it. Don't sheep dip video content. Don't be in a position where you do it for a couple of weeks and then go, oh, why haven't thousands of people come through to me and try to buy from me? It doesn't work like that. Any form of content that you create, you have to commit to it longer term. And the video people I will tell you that they sometimes get people that try and do it for a couple of period of time and then stop, or they assign a bit of money to video and then they stop it afterwards because nothing's happened. It's like, you have to commit to doing it over a period of time. You've got to be disciplined about doing that. But if you are, and you create videos on subjects and topics that are of challenge to your target audience, then people will engage. So that's the first thing around those type of videos. And by the way, let us know if you've got a YouTube channel, an Instagram channel, a TikTok channel. Let us know. I'll put more of my links into the video, so you can into the podcast notes. So you can see those, and you can consume as much or as little if you want. If I think I'm not the right person for that, as little of that content as possible. The second video that I would also encourage you to think about doing is videos within emails. There are tools you can now use. Tools like BombBomb's a good example of a tool that you can use, or you can even embed an email. So let's say you're sending out a generic email to your audience. What you might be able to do, and I am actually going to be doing this in one of my buyer emails soon. So I have a Saturday an email that goes out called Inside the Mind of Your Buyer, and I'm going to be doing a video on that channel really soon. On that email really soon, that talks about a couple of subjects, just because it's a different way of getting the message across. And so video to a mass audience is where you can put a video out there, you can embed the video in the email, and videos that are embedded in emails get I think the reaction, I think was it boosts open rates by something like 68%, because people can see the video and they play it and it actually engages with them. And what it does is it's different as well. A lot of other people at the moment just send standard emails. So if you can do an email with a video in there, or maybe even you can do a video with a little GIF video. One of the things I've seen before that works really well is just in a video using a meme type of video, where I had an email from someone the other day, and there was a picture of him waving, saying "talk to me," and all he was doing was waving, saying with a sign saying "talk to me," and it looked really funny. And actually, it was like, actually, I quite like that. It's a bit different. So, video can make you stand out from the competition and be quite different in that way. And I encourage you to look at using video messages, and you can use tools. You can get them done professionally, or you can use video tools, what we'll talk about in a moment, to create those videos and send them out within your emails. What I would say then is key. The first 10 to 20 seconds of any video are critical. People will look at what that video is going to say or do, and look like, and will decide if they want to carry on watching. It's got to have substance, but it's got to make people want to engage. So that's the first thing, is to really be in a position. So that's the second thing, sorry, to use video in that way as a different method if you're going to try and appeal to a broader audience initially. Or the third way to use video, which I really encourage you to focus on, is much more of a targeted focus action. So let's say, and I always say to people, when you're trying to do outbound prospecting, and we'll do a separate podcast on outbound prospecting, but there are sort of 6 ways to engage with people. You can meet them at an event, you can go to their office, you can send them a direct mail, you can send them an email, you can send them a social message, you can call them, or the 7th option is to video message them. So what you can do is you can put a video message in. If you use tools like Loom, I use a tool called Loom, there's a tool called Vidyard, and what you can do is you can have your face in a small part of the screen. And the way I position it is I will have a prospect's website or something around them in the background. And I will say to someone, I will do a little 2-minute, no more than 1 to 2 minute video where I say, hi, so-and-so, my name's James, you don't know me, but before you've pressed, cancel on this video, I'd love to just talk to you about a couple of issues I believe you're facing in your role and how we can help solve them. I can see you're at such and such company, and I'm really impressed by the work you're doing with this, this, and this. I think it's great. But one of the key challenges that people in your position have is blah, blah, blah. And then this video can be personalized to that person. You can go onto their LinkedIn profile. You can show that person that you've actually taken time to send a video to them that's personalized for them rather than being a generic video. Now, of course, you have to understand the value and potential value of that client. If they're going to be a client, you can't do that. If you sell something for $100 or £100, you can't do that with every client. But if you sell a service for £10,000, for example, then yes, you can be in a position where you take time to personalize a video to the buyer that you're trying to sell to. And it's no guarantee of success, but if you plan those videos and maybe plan 3 of them over a 4 to 6 week period, where every couple of days they get another video, every couple of weeks, they get another video from you that talks about a problem, an issue, and you understand that audience, then it's going to be a unique way of trying to approach and open a door. Because when we don't know people initially, of course, picking up the phone and speaking to them is great, but they may have a secretary or a gatekeeper there that stops us getting through to people. And the reality is we'd love to go and speak to them face to face if we see them, but we may not get that chance. So how do we get through the door? Video, personalized one-to-one video messaging, through using tools like Loom, where you can message someone then through, include that video on LinkedIn or send a link to your Loom web video itself, is a great way to be able to try and open the door. And I encourage you using that as a tool for video prospecting. I've used it. I used it a couple of cases, and I'll share an example of some videos that I've done. If you'd like an example of that, then let me know. Where I've done some video prospecting, reached out to those people, and they've come back and said, "Okay, this is quite intriguing. Tell me a little bit more about what it is you do." So I'd really encourage you to think about using video in that way. So there's three ways, either at the top end of the funnel where you're more educational and you're talking to a mixture of people, either do it as in an email where you can be a bit funny and a bit unique, or do that personalized video message. I really think it can have an impact for you, and I really encourage you to put something together that can make that other person go, wow, this is interesting, this is intriguing. And it's a camp. I'm working with a client at the moment, helping one of their sales team implement a video campaign, and we're excited about what it's going to look like and what it's going to do. They've got a very specific audience that they want to target, and we believe that video is going to be a great method to open the door. So just take into account, consider it. It's something you should look at doing. It can impact you, it can help you, can position you effectively, and more importantly, it can open the doors to getting conversations started that enables you to then hopefully do business with someone. So I'd really encourage you to look at that as a starting point. And if you're not using video right now, then start, because it's where the world's going. More and more people are using more videos, and the growth of TikTok and all these other channels is huge. Be part of that process. Get involved in video. Get yourself, your brand or your business out there, and it's going to help. So look, final thing, as I always do, I like to finish the podcast on an inspirational story, and I wanted to talk about the story of Ashley Kane. So Ashley Kane, I do love my football, and he's a Coventry City ex-footballer and a TV star, and he set up a foundation for his daughter, who sadly died at 8 months of leukemia, and he set up the foundation to raise money, and he literally does a huge amount of channels. I love my challenges, I should say. He cycled between the 3 peaks in England. He has completed 5 marathons in 5 days. He's done 17,000 mile cycle ride through Europe, and he knows his challenges are painful, but he gets strength in his pain and purpose in his pain to help other people deal with the challenges of losing a young child at such a young age. So I think fair play to Ashley Kane. He's an inspirational story, and I don't know him, but I credit him for having that courage and dedication to do what he's doing, and to keep inspiring people to better themselves and to do things for a bigger cause. So love to know what your challenge is, what story you're inspired by, what can make you be focused and saying, yeah, I'm going to make something happen. There's always a reason why you can't, but there's a one reason why you can, which is you. So be your own inspiring story. And if you do become that story, then let me know, because you can come on my podcast as an example. But until next week, see you soon. Take care, be safe, and have a great week.